Okay, this is Jeffy reporting from my Tesla Model 3 Performance, and I thought it'd be cool to show an update that happened last week, which allows you to watch your camera on your screen directly, which is really cool. I think it's going to develop a little bit further. I hope they actually allow you to use all the cameras. Even the interior camera would be great. Imagine somebody steals your car and they're inside the car, and then you can view the footage after. That'd be insane to have that, because most burglars that would steal your car are not going to know where to look for your drive or your your SSD, which you hide underneath your dash here in the center console. So let me show you guys the software update. It's pretty cool. Okay, so here I am in the Model 3 Performance. I don't think I've made a video of this from the interior, but basically this is the car. I've got all white, and this is the Performance model, which is the dual motor and the faster engine, also long range, I think 500 kilometers or something. Haven't driven very much because I picked up the car about 2-3 weeks ago, but ever since then we've had this whole COVID thing going on, so there hasn't been much driving. But I thought I could show this really cool update that happened last week. This is very useful. I mean, if your car is in what's called Sentry mode, essentially your car's cameras are on alert and all the motion sensors are on alert. There's a camera right on the door in the mid part right here, which is really cool. So if anybody were to come next to my window when I'm not in the car, the cameras would be activated. I'm not sure if it's always recording. I think it would just record based on motion, kind of like a standard dash cam that you would have here. I used to have a dash cam in my GTR, and essentially if there was any motion in front of the car, it wouldn't always be recording, but it would start recording when there's people around the car. The bad thing about that is it'll only really detect anybody that's in the front or in the back. But if someone's on the side, which is basically the blind spot, there wouldn't be any footage for that. So Tesla released an update last week that allows you to view all your footage on the screen directly. And as you know, with this car, I mean, there's no speedometer here. There's no console in the front of you. So the only information that you have for this vehicle is this very, very big screen, which is essentially like a 13-inch, 14-inch iPad, basically attached to your center console of the vehicle. So actually, I want to thank Top Gear Wraps as well, because we did the PPF last week, so the whole car's protected. We did the whole chrome delete, but I'll do like a different video for that later in another video. And he also wrapped the center console, which is kind of like a black vinyl. This was black before, but it had this kind of shiny texture. I don't know if I can find anything that's similar, kind of like that, which was very prone to fingerprints, kind of like this as well. Actually, now that I think about it, I should get this wrapped as well. But yeah, so this is all wrapped here. I also have these center pieces here, so I can put various items. And underneath everything, if you see inside here, actually I can't go in there right now, but there's an SSD, 128 gigabytes, which records footage. And generally speaking, in the past, what you would have to do is park your car, take the SSD out, plug it into your computer, and then you can view the various footage, and that's kind of annoying. So this allows you to look at your footage in the car. So essentially what you have here, this is recording now, because as you can see, it's red, so it's recording. And when Sentry mode is on, this would have like a Sentry interface here. I don't know, this is different now. I don't know how they did this, but if you go into your settings here, into your vehicle settings, safety and security, you go down here and you would turn Sentry mode on. Obviously, I'm excluding home, work, and any other favorites that I would choose to add later on, so that the camera and the battery power is not being drained when the camera is active. So now, if you want to view anything, you would click on the camera, and this wasn't here before. So now you've got save footage. Generally, before you would click on this once and it would record, and then it would go green when the footage is saved. So in this case, now I can open this up, I can launch the viewer, and there you go. And now it would show, this is all past footage, and you have a menu here. So that's the, if let's say I want to go back to, I don't know, let's see here, let's go to the 29th of March. So this is the 29th of March here, and that is the front camera, which is going into a parking lot here at someone's address. You've got the rear camera that's recording all the time, which is wicked. And then you've got your left camera, which is the one underneath your mirror. So it's not even actually the camera. I don't think that's the camera that's next to the door. That's another camera. So that's what I mean. This is recording underneath that mirror right there, but there is another camera there. So I'm assuming that would work as well in other situations. And then you've got your right camera as well, which is underneath the right mirror. So right, left, and front and rear. And if you look at this, I'm parking beautifully here. Look at that. Coming right next to the curb. Very nice. And then obviously I'm going to be exiting, and there I am right there. See that? Going inside, opening the door. And I would assume if somebody was to come next to my car in a shopping mall when you're parked, and you always get, like, I don't know, if you get some asshole that doesn't like your car, or if you park too close to him and they decide to key your car, you've got them on video. And there's been tons of videos online specifically about that, people catching people doing things like that. And they basically, they get prosecuted, or they get a ticket, or they get arrested. But yeah, do not steal a Tesla. And that is the lesson behind this. And this is really, really cool. Thank you very much, Tesla, for this. The quality of the footage is not great. I mean, I had a 4K black view in the past. And you know, it's obviously way better in 4K, but look, this does the job. I mean, it's amazing. And I just hope that they open up all the other cameras. And there's also a camera inside right here, as you can see, right in the center of the mirror. A lot of people actually block that camera because they're wondering what Elon is looking at, but I mean, that probably has a purpose. I mean, the only purpose I can imagine right now, if someone takes your car, or you want to film them or get people's reaction, I hope the camera's wide so you can get people in both seats, or the whole front of the car. But yeah, this is very, very cool. You can also fast forward the footage. There I am. Oh wait, there I am again. So if I fast forward this, you can kind of see all the, there you go, and there I am with my mask going back to my car. And that's it, man. This is the Sentry mode on-screen camera viewing update. And there's the Sentry camera, and there's the dash cam. Actually, you can go through all this here. So that's all your footage, and basically it goes by date. The camera automatically records all the time, but I think it doesn't save it to your SSD unless you actually click on record. So if something's happening and you're driving, you see something, or you honk, because I have it set so that when I honk, the camera automatically will start recording in a situation like that. I'm assuming if there's some kind of impact or anything like that, the camera would also record. But this is wicked, man. Very, very cool. And that's it. More car stuff to come later on. Take care.